Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode 213 of the Michael Lab Show. Happy Thursday, happy morning on a Thursday, happy afternoon, happy evening on a Thursday. I'm currently wearing a Lululemon bandana. I'm currently sitting here. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Now, that's a little bit different because I typically record my podcast on Wednesdays. The reason why I am not recording this episode on a Wednesday is because on Wednesday, so yesterday, I had a huge event in my life, which I'm not going to get into because I don't think I can get into it. And I also don't think I really want to get into it as of right now. But as everyone knows, I'm going into my last semester of school. So what that means is I will be graduating, and upon graduation, I will be moving on looking for a career-like job. And with that being said, this is going to be an episode where I probably just vent to people and I just talk. So if this is one that you're looking for me to talk about a topic, whether I talk about the COVID, whether I talk about Simone Biles, whether I talk about the Olympics, most likely you are not going to get that in this episode. So I apologize if you come here for your very accurate news, but that's not going to be this episode. This episode is going to be me just talking about how I am feeling, specifically because this is literally why I started the podcast, for days like today, for days where I'm like stressed out, feeling anxious, feeling not nervous, feeling excited, kind of unstable a little bit. This is why I started the podcast, because when I was going to therapy, which I most likely will get back in sooner than later, specifically for no specific reason, just because I think it's good to have. I want to do in person, and for some reason we can't do in person anymore. You know, that's one thing that is kind of stressing me out a little bit, like this whole COVID thing. And I know it's a broken record at this point, but I'm starting to kind of get nervous about going back into a lockdown. And I don't know, so right off the top, I don't think we should go back into a lockdown. And I am very, and the reason why I say that, so a lot of things that are kind of upsetting me, not upsetting me, but is stressing me out a little bit, is this, we got the vaccines, right? I got the vaccines. These vaccines were produced. People went ahead and got them, right? Under the notion that upon using the vaccine, the need for masks were no longer going to be needed for you, right? If you got the vaccine, you don't need the mask. And that was the truth. That's what people told you. That was the rhetoric. And we also knew going into it that a lot of people weren't going to get the vaccine. But knowing that no one's going to get the vaccine, if you had the vaccine, it didn't really matter too much. Because by using the vaccine, you are protected. And by the numbers that Moderna and Pfizer were putting up, you were like 95% protected from like a deadly, dangerous strain. So the months go on, and this Delta variant is out spreading around, infecting people. And it's causing a mass hysteria. I can pull up United States COVID. It's gone up, right? It's gone up. It's gone up. We during the summer months like June, May, we were getting like 8 to 20,000 cases a day, if that. And now we're hitting 88,000 cases. Yesterday, the day before, 14,000. So it's been growing. A 7-day average is about 52,000 cases a day. The thing that's kind of upsetting to me is there seems to be nobody going like, hey man, why are we being punished for following the rules? And then the answer is immediately, well, because those people didn't get vaccinated. And if here's my thing. This country it's a young country. It's 250 years old, 242 years old. 245 years old. 245 years old. There's things that happen in countries that lead to a situation that can lead to a failing democracy. And the examples have gone on, and they've been shown, and they've been repeated. And they have happened in Germany. They have happened in Russia. They have happened in Cambodia. They have happened in Cuba, in Korea. And it's this idea that people who are led by fear become puppets. And I'm not sitting here, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not. I have a vaccine in my arm. I had all the vaccines when I was a young kid. But what I'm also not is going to call people a they, or going to call the unvaccinated the cause for... There is a spread of coronavirus. And that is something that I think is never going to go away, vaccine or no vaccine. Colds are never going to go away. Flus are never going to go away. And it's conflicting, right? On one hand, I think it would be nice if COVID was gone. It would be nice. But at the same time, I strongly believe it is not the government's responsibility to force people to go out and get a vaccine, especially when a vaccine has not been fully FDA regulated. And the FDA has not been on its best behavior lately. If you guys have not seen the Alzheimer's drug that was passed by Biogen, that it was produced by Biogen and then was pushed through the FDA, became federally, it got the check mark, and now there's a bunch of shit going down for it. Like, I can just look it up right here. Biogen Alzheimer's. Biogen is in a bind. The high-stakes fight over Alzheimer's and what makes a drug worthwhile. Biogen found a key believer in its controversial Alzheimer's drug. Here we go. Biogen's Ediolum, which is the Alzheimer's drug, likely won't be the only Alzheimer med subject to Medicare's coverage review. How an unproven here we go. So this is from the New York Times a week ago. How an unproven Alzheimer drug got approved. There's some of its own senior officials, and there was little evidence of benefits for patients. The FDA nonetheless greenlighted Biogen's Aduhelm. And it's a full article, and I'm sure you guys can. I'm sure if you go there and read it, you will see that, like, basically what I'm trying to say is that I don't understand this rhetoric that's going around where we literally have Governor Newsom, Governor Cuomo out there telling people that if you want your freedom back, you have to go up to the unvaccinated and tell them to put a needle in their arm and get a vaccine in their arm that's not fully FDA regulated, is emergency FDA regulated only. You got to tell these people to get the vaccine if they want their freedom back. Otherwise, they are the cause of your lack of freedom. Now, I'm not a historian. I'm not a professor. I'm not a super smart person at all, and I probably shouldn't be speaking on this. But what I can tell you is we are creating a precedent that so far in this country, we're lucky hasn't existed yet. But I can tell you right now, it does exist currently in countries like China, in countries currently like Cuba, North Korea, Russia, Ukraine, Romania, and has also occurred in all those countries that I just listed: Spain, France, Italy, Bosnia. You can keep going. Vietnam, Cambodia. It just keeps going. When you pin people up against each other and you start calling people an other, you're dealing with a dangerous, dangerous situation. That other will become a cockroach, and that cockroach will become the thing that is hated by people. I know plenty of people who haven't got the vaccine. I know plenty of people who have not gotten the vaccine. And I can tell you right now, those people who have not got the vaccine are not shitty people. They're great people. But they're great people that they sit there with their eyes, with one eyebrow up, like, should I get this vaccine? Should I get this vaccine? I'm scared of getting this vaccine. I don't know what it does. I've seen on social media what it can do because Facebook and Twitter has failed to actually get rid of videos. But also here's another thing. Those videos that you see of people struggling after the vaccines, those are real. I know 2 people in my life who have had repercussions because of the vaccine. I'm talking can barely walk. And that's not misinformation. That is the truth. But also that's the truth going into it. I knew when I got the vaccine, there was a percent where I could come back and I could have a serious illness. I mean, heck, dude, just 2 weeks ago, Johnson & Johnson was, they were looking at, Johnson vaccine and Guillain-Barré. This was just like a couple weeks back. 2 weeks ago, JJ vaccine. This is from NBC Chicago. Side effects, Guillain-Barré syndrome. Here we go. CDC, this is 4 days ago. CDC says JJ COVID vaccine benefits, quote, far outweigh, end quote, risk of neurological disorder. CDC panel says after reports of Guillain-Barré syndrome. Far outweigh is fine. That's cool. I get it. But also there's still a percentage that I could get this disease that paralyzes me for a long period of time that comes from vaccines and comes from infectious diseases and viruses. I don't know what you do. And here's another thing that's very fascinating to me. I've been transfixed on this idea of so at the height of COVID, I think a lot of people would agree with what I'm about to say. There was people who were wearing masks, and there was those who were wearing masks but reluctantly wearing masks and took the mask off right when they got outside, took the mask off if they're inside a building, but the inside was kind of didn't have a roof over it. You were in you saw these people. And I know plenty of people who said, I'm going to keep wearing the mask even after the mask is lifted. Even if the government says you no longer need to wear the mask because our CDC, Central Center of Disease, the CDC says that you don't have to wear a mask anymore. These people are no longer wearing the mask. A few have put them back on. As these cases rise, I pay attention to things because this the Delta variant affects the market, and I pay attention to the market a lot because I want to make money and I care about money. So call me a capitalist. I don't care. These people are going to go. You're going to see if masks are told to be put back on, people are going to put them back on. But there's so many people that want to wear them, but they don't wear them because they don't have to. So what does that show? That shows people don't want to wear the mask, and people are willing to go out in public still without a mask on. I don't know what the future holds, but I can tell you this right now. If people who have been vaccinated are forced to wear a mask, any trust that is left in the government, that is left in the CDC, we don't even talk about the World Health Organization, the WHO, any trust that exists in those organizations are gone. Because I was told, as you were told, as everybody was told, vaccine, don't need to wear a mask. Vaccine, don't need to wear a mask. And now it's, you have to wear a mask even if you're vaccinated because of those people. And when you say those people, that is a precedent that once is set is never going to be gone back on. That is a dangerous precedent. That is a precedent that leads to, I mean, read a little bit of history. It always starts with that. When you take society and you break them down to smaller groups, it's much easier to attack something when you're not attacking a person, you're attacking a larger organism. When it's a thing, when it's a group of people with individual beating hearts as one big heart, you don't care. You don't care. If you see a huge hive of bumblebees, it's hard to kill one bumblebee because it's out there doing its thing. It's playing around. It's it's pumping whatever it does in flowers and nectaring things and making honey and shit. But if you see a beehive, and you're probably most likely going to take it out because it can hurt you a lot more than one bee. And it's a dangerous situation. It's a precedent that has been set, and it's a precedent that has been. And I'm saying precedent, not president, that has been set and has been followed and is not going to go back on. And as I'm sitting here right now doing this podcast on Tuesday, word on the street is Biden is going to come out and is going to say if you've been vaccinated, you have to wear a mask in certain situations. That is utterly that's crazy. If you think, if God forbid we have a pandemic that instead of COVID we have like Ebola, something that kills you pretty much once you get it. God forbid we have one of those, because any trust and confidence that we've had in our government is slowly fading to nothingness. It's slowly fading to nothingness. Call me a bad person, but I don't think shaming people and knocking on people's doors is going to get people to get the vaccine. What is going to get people to get the vaccine, if they will want to get the vaccine, is you present it in a safe manner, is if you show that it's fully FDA regulated. Why is it not FDA regulated yet? What is going on? Why is it? Maybe I'm probably just an idiot. It hasn't even been a year. But it's scary, man. It's scary to see what's happening. I don't know what the future holds. But what I do know is the divide has begun, and it's going to get worse. I had a great interview with one of my a buddy of mine, not a buddy of mine, I guess you can call him a mentor, more or less. I met him at my job, and we were talking about the market, and we were talking about things that are going to impact us the most in the future. And we both agreed on diversity. If there's not diversity, that's going to be an issue. There has to be diversity in businesses and whatnot. We both agreed on environment. This is something that's a real issue. And the other thing that we both agreed upon was this money spending that we have in this country and this separation of ideas. You know, I've used this analogy twice. I used it with him, and then I used it with Taylor. The analogy is basically, this is what happens when you have somebody who is an independent thinker, when you have somebody who's smart, who critically thinks, who's able to be pro-marijuana, but also pro-guns, who's able to do that. So, you know, something that's kind of Republican pro-guns, something that's more Democrat, legalization of marijuana. When you have somebody who can do that, they're talented, they're smart, they want to make an impact on the world. Imagine they're a baseball player. They're the best baseball player in the world. Guess what they have to do in order to show their talents? They have to pick a team. You got to get on a team. And once you get on the team, your culture has changed. You're going to change. To be part of that team, you have to change. We're seeing that now. There used to be an acceptance of party lines. The lines used to be blurred, and they were blurred very happily blurred. Right? They were. They're not anymore. I've had many incidents where people assume that I'm a far, like I'm a huge conservative. And maybe it's because of the way I look. I'm a white male. And I'm just brushing stereotypes here. I have a blue line behind me, a thin blue line. I don't know. I look like a veteran. I look like a military. I look like a police officer. And I've had conversations with people, and they assume these things about me. And they will start saying things that are mean. Like these fucking, like they're saying, oh, these fucking libtards, or like these, like these, oh, all these Democrat cities, look what's happening, all these Democrat cities, blah, 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 blah. And like, all these education systems are failing everybody. And I got to be like, hey, man, I don't agree with all that, what you're saying. Like, and like, like, I've had many incidents where I'm like, that's not me, bro. Like, I hang out in a moat, dog. I don't, like, I sit on top of the fence. I don't choose Mexico or the United States. I sit on top of the fence. And the thing that gets me, I think the thing that bothers me the most is I think that's most people. I think most people sit on top of the fence. But you can't get anything done on top of the fence. You got to pick a damn side. And when you pick a side, you get lost in the sauce. You get manipulated into believing certain things that maybe you would have never believed before. You hear one thing and it sounds good, but you don't, there's nobody in the group of people who are going to be like, hey man, but maybe you should look at it this way. Hey man, maybe I know you think abortion is horrible and you should never abort a child, but if you look at the statistics of mothers who have kids when they don't want the kids, those kids usually tend to grow up in a very hostile situation, and they develop hatred towards the world, and sometimes they develop serious drug habits. Should you have let that kid into the world even though it's your child? Should you abort a child at 1 month? What if the woman is raped? People don't want to do that, man. People don't want that. People want the simple answers, and here's the thing: it's not simple. Take my guns. Okay, cool. You can have all my guns, government. I guess whatever. Have my guns. Walking home from work one day, walking into my apartment from being parked. I parked away. I couldn't get a parking spot. Walking to my apartment, somebody pulls up and they tell me, "Give me all your money. Give me your phone." And they put a gun at my head. Who would want a gun in that situation? You probably would want a gun. Government took it from you. They took it because all these mass shootings. If you take away guns, no one's going to get killed. But this asshole wants to shoot and kill you. He has a gun. She has a gun. Where did they get the gun from? Oh, they got it from Smith & Wesson. No, bro, they got it illegally. Someone breaks in your house. Pop, 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 pop. Shooting at your front door. They walk into your house. They walk up the steps. They put a gun to your child's head. They shoot your dog. Oh, I don't have a gun. I'm so happy I gave up my gun. Woo, yeah. Takes out everybody. If you had a gun, you could have took the person out right there. But I can say the same thing for the other side. Someone has a gun in the house. Their kid's mentally unstable. Girlfriend breaks up with them. They're 16 years old. They smoke a little weed, do a little bit of cocaine, drink a little beer, grab that gun, shoot everybody. If that gun wasn't allowed to be in that house, would that kid have done it? It's a different story. But you see what I'm saying? These situations are complex, dude. They're not simple. They are very complicated. And we are smart. Humans are smart. We've done this thing. We've done a life for a little bit of time now. It's not that simple. And I don't think it's supposed to be that simple. And I don't think it was made to be that simple. I think it comes to a point where we got to be like, hey, man, maybe things are complicated. Maybe we should actually take time, give people the benefit of the doubt, listen to people, not tell people that they're Nazis because they believe in guns, not tell someone that they're socialist because they want to give healthcare to people. And maybe we should talk to each other like we're fucking human beings. Like, maybe that's a good idea. Have we ever thought about that? Probably not. Probably not, because that's not what makes people popular. Trump did a lot of things that made him very unpopular, but he also did a lot of things that I think people would have respected. Same thing with Biden, dude. I mean, he bombed the shit out of Syria. You think that's what people wanted to hear? No. Did people hear about it? No. Why? Because they didn't talk about it. But yeah, I'm stressed out, man. I'm stressed out because I have a huge. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I think I'm mostly excited about everything. I'm like things are starting to go well, and I don't want to jinx it, dude, because jinxing things is scary. But I'm very happy about where I am currently in my life, and I'm confident about my future, and I think things are gonna work out. And I'm going into my last semester of school, and I'm going into my last semester of this school to just fucking take heads, dude. I'm ready to just work my ass off. And honestly, I'm sitting here right now, and I'm not fully confident that we're going to be in person. I would like to be in person, but like at the same time, I don't know what Hogan would do. I go to school at Towson, so they're in Baltimore County, and Baltimore County has been very aggressive on mask. I've shown the school that I've been vaccinated. In order to go to school, you have to have a vaccine. You have to have an exemption. And if you have an exemption or you don't get the vaccine, I don't think you can just not get the vaccine. I think you gotta, I don't know what it is, but I know if you have the vaccine and then, so there's two groups, the vaccine, and then there's the exemption / didn't get the vaccine. If you're in that group, the exemption and the didn't get the vaccine, you got to get tested every single day, twice a day. So, like, it's fascinating. Like, New York City just made all their public workers go ahead and get, they have to get vaccinated. California just did the same thing. These organizations are starting to make people finally get vaccinated. And I think once it gets FDA regulated, that's when people should start doing that. $25% of the country is not vaccinated. I guarantee you can get 5 to 8% of people vaccinated just because they it's FDA regulated. People want that, dude. People believe in the establishments. I do. If you don't think there's a second where it's like, fuck, dude, I kind of don't want to get vaccinated. Yeah, I definitely felt that. And I'm a science freak. I love science. Look at all my books. I love science. I think science is awesome. But at the same time, I wanted to get the vaccine because I didn't want to get COVID, and I don't want to give people COVID. And to me, the reward outweighed that risk. But I can sit here and I can totally talk to someone who hasn't been vaccinated. I'm like, dude, I understand, bro. I'm not hating, man. But I'm sorry people do hate on you. It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up. It's going to be a short episode. It's barely going to be 30 minutes. I got to set up an area for me. This room is not the best for like business-like settings. It's definitely a podcast setup. There's mixed signals behind me. You can pick up what I'm putting down. It sucks about Simone Biles. She dropped out of the good old-fashioned Olympics. But I don't know who watches the Olympics anymore. I don't. I mean, I don't know what the certain areas are. COVID hotspots. I guess that means like big gatherings and stuff. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. Dr. Fauci, the president, chief COVID-19 medical advisor, active consideration. President Joe Biden said last week that 24 members of COVID response team were examining the surge in cases. Have been returned to earlier requirements. The White House this week announced it is maintaining existing coronavirus travel restrictions. White House officials, nope. 2 months ago, nope. People in the areas of high or substantial COVID-19 commission should resume wearing masks, the CDC is expected to say. According to sources familiar with the announcement, nearly 2/3 of U.S. counties have high or substantial transmission of COVID-19, according to CDC data. 46% of counties have high transmission, and 17% have substantial transmission. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time briefing on Tuesday. So that dummy's going to talk today. Let me see what this person looks like. I know that shouldn't be a big issue, but like, it does. Because I judge the shit out of people. There she is. Physio director. So we'll see. I don't know. Those people aren't going to listen to you, right? They're not going to listen. Like the places that COVID has been spreading the most are like Texas and Florida, and they're not gonna put in more policies, right? Am I crazy for saying that? COVID, even though it's been surging there the most, or not even. I guess 5,000, 6,000 cases, 150% increase. I mean, they only have 50% of their populations vaccinated. I don't know how much more you're going to get, though. I think you're just going to have to say F it and like be happy with what you got there. Because you're not going to get these states to do it. Like Florida is 57% of the state is vaccinated. And they can't even count. Like they've had, like yesterday had 0 cases, but the day before they had like 27,000 cases. Like Florida's the cause of all this. These people going wild in Florida, dude. That's crazy, dude. This surge is nuts. I don't think there's anybody with more. Alabama, maybe. Oh yeah, Alabama's going up too. Maybe a Georgia. Let's do Georgia. I don't know how to spell Georgia. Oh, Georgia doesn't even have statistics? What? They just stopped giving out statistics? Oh, no, they're going up. No. 5,000. Okay, yeah. Maybe like a New Mexico? Oh, barely going up. Oklahoma? It's going up. Nothing crazy. It's weird. It's like some days there's just nothing. And then some days there's a lot. Maryland was going up, but we're kind of going back down now, which is a good sign. The good thing is deaths aren't going up. So that's what I like to see. Like deaths are not going up. And I know I'm not like speaking out of pocket here. Like they're going up a little bit, but they're stagnating, which is good. Like death is the most important part. Hospitalizations are definitely going up. About 7,000 people in the ICU right now. So potentially 7,000 more deaths coming. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I'm excited where I am right now in my life, so let's just be selfish. That's it, guys. That's all I really got to talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and get this podcast. You guys are watching this on Thursday anyways already. I'm going to go ahead and edit it up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys August. See you guys in August, hopefully with episode 224, I think. Let me check. Yep, I'll catch you guys August 3rd. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I'll see you guys in about a week. Peace out. See ya. Oh, and when I see you, I'll have good news or bad news. Peace out. See ya.